Good blessed Saturday, August the 28th, 2021. It's about 8:08 a.m. I want to show y'all something before I get to giving my message. Can y'all see this here? These is a bunch of white geese, ducks rather, but can you see the one little one right there that done strayed away from their mother or their father? You see, I'm going to tell you about something in a minute to show you something concerning this here. I want y'all to consider these geese being the Carbondale, Illinois SIU students. Well, then again, I don't even know if I want to say them being the SIU student. But let's say these geese is among those who care about everybody, not just themselves. Now, you see that one that's standing alone, I fed them. All of them was able to eat. But I want to show you something in a minute. And y'all look over there across the water. Let's see if we can focus on it. Y'all can see that white vehicle moving over there. At some time when I come out, you wonder, you see how the one, Jesus, if he had 100 sheep and all of them but one went astray. I want you to look at this here. This is the one that strayed from the 100. So the 99 is gone back into the water, but there go one that's astray. Now I got a message. First, I want y'all to look at this T-shirt. It said, "I don't need Google. My daughters know everything." We know don't nobody know everything but God. In other words, I don't have to Google up my 15 and 16-year-old that I can't find or having a problem finding. They took over my business, R, Raymond Research and Recovery. But while I talk, I want to focus on this one that's by themselves. You see, it's something happened on Sunday, August the 22nd, 2021 in Carbondale, Illinois. There was a young, promising 18-year-old black female that went from Chicago, Illinois. And we know in Chicago, Illinois, in some of the black neighborhoods, it's happening everywhere, but I'm talking about the black-on-black crime. Black-on-black crime is so rough. Sometimes people send their children away to try to get them a better education and to try to get them a better place to be able to live in peace and harmony. Now, Jesus spoke a lot about this here, what we see right now. You see the white geese is gone back, the ducks is gone back into the water. This one baby geese here, we don't see his mother or her mother or father nowhere around. I'm going to say something that Vashawn Mitchell would have said. In his song, Nobody Greater, he said, this little one searched all over, couldn't find nobody. He searched it high and low, couldn't find nobody. Nobody greater than the Father, God. But this one that's astray right now, I look at it as being the female that just lost her life in Carbondale. I look at it being my son who lost his life in Carbondale. both of them from the Chicago area. And I look at it being the Indian guy, Praveen, who lost his life, I think, in Carbondale. You know, when they tried to say Praveen's, the coroner said Praveen's was because he went into the woods during the wintertime, took his shirt off, took his gym shoes off, and then left somebody else's gym shoes there not too far from him and kept his phone. But they said he wandered out there in the woods drunk. But they found out all that wasn't true. But you see, I was watching something that SIU, the Southern Illinois, in Carbondale University, when they had this memorial service on their campus with all these high-powered people, the chancellor, the deans, and these ones with doctor's degrees, and all of them were speaking. You know, they was making these elegant speeches. But then it was about an hour and something long, but then it was one person got up, a brother that got up almost during the end of this hour service that they had. Y'all listen real good. And this brother happened to be a brother that I knew. A brother that was up under the same bishop that I was up under, Bishop James Winfield, may he rest in peace. He got up and said something, and I don't think it caught the minds. I don't think the SIU students, especially the high-power ranking ones, I don't think it digested in their minds, in their hearts. He said that he give honor and he respect the Suzuki family. Listen now, he told them he respect them coming together for losing one of their students. But he told them this. He said there's another family besides the Suzuki family. They probably didn't listen to that. They didn't pay attention to that. He told them students, them deans and them chancellors and them doctors at SIU. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of them people there probably care, but you can believe it ain't the ones that getting up and speaking, talking about stopping the violence, because on August the 22nd, 2021, that Sunday in Carbondale, Illinois at 501 West Cherry Street, about 2-something in the morning a.m., that young girl who life from Chicago, I'm from the Chicago, Windy City, she wasn't the first violent act that happened even on that street. But he said there's another family too. He said there's an earth family. In other words, those white geese that's way over there now, they ain't the only ducks or geese family. This one here that's by itself. God said this here. That's why when I came and fed, I came in this area because I seen they wasn't running him away. Even though he by himself, he barely got his wings. But see, this geese, even as a baby, it trusts me. For some reason, it ain't flying away or running away, because he see I done did something where his parents done left him somewhere. You see what I'm saying? And left him by himself. But see, we look at, when we are part of an organization, a sorority, the Masons look at just the Masons. You see what I'm saying? White supremacists look at just the white supremacists. You know, black militants look at just the black militants. You know, people that's up under the 5 look at people under the 5, and some under the 6, but not all of them. Some of them look at all of us as being as one. But let me show you this here. If those people that was doing all that speaking, you see, they would have said something on the same note that one preacher, he living in Marion now. He's a good friend of mine. He was one of the only leaders in that area in Southern Illinois. Told me, if you need me to come down there and speak and march with you, I will. But out of heaven asking for his call, God sent his call to speak in front of all them people that call themselves chancellors and doctors. He let them see something they probably don't even see now, and probably just let it go in one ear and go out the other one if they didn't put the headphones in their ears and block that out. You see, he wasn't reading from some notes that he wrote. He came from the heart. The only time he read from something when he gave them scripture, and he said something that the rest of them didn't say because they're not concerned about that. He said, is any of y'all need any prayer? I don't know. I couldn't see the audience. I don't know if anybody in the audience raised their hand or not, but he prayed anyway for them and let them know it's more than just a Suzuki family. It's a earth family. That's something a God man would say. You see what I'm saying? If I was out here and there was 2 babies in that water drowning, one being white and one being black, for those of y'all that said that I'm racist, I would go out there and save both of them because that's what God made me. That's what God made me to be. You see, God had me out in the world. Y'all can go back and look, get a background check on me. And one thing about it, you know, when you get your background check, get your update check too. You see what I'm saying? When you go back to Throwback Thursday or Throwback 40 or 50 years ago, then get an update. Get an update to Saturday, August the 28th, 2021. Get an update. You see, a lot of y'all don't like the stuff that I speak because I speak the truth. You see, the truth hurt people that's doing wrong. And let me show y'all something. And you got to pay close attention to it. These people in Carbondale would tell you Carbondale is one of the best places to come. But you can't tell me and my family that because my son has been dead over 160-something days and not one preacher, not one group, not one organization, not even the NAACP, not one newspaper, news media, ain't now one of them mention it. But you see, I done kept on mentioning like the Indian people from Morton Grove, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois suburb. They kept on battling for their son because these people said their son wandered in the woods. Wandered in some of them woods and died of hypothermia. But they had enough money to get another autopsy, and that autopsy showed different. They had blunt trauma. You see, my son had blunt trauma to his first, 7th, and 3rd rib. He had blunt trauma in his face. You see what I'm saying? He had a cut on the back of his hand, cut all the way down to the tendons. Now let me show you how the coroner, William, let me show y'all something else that's so unique. Can y'all see it? Can you see all the white ducks and then the one geese in the middle of them? You see the 2 ducks to the right and then all the other ones to, you see how they swimming, even though some of them, they swimming away from him, this one by itself, but he's not afraid. You see what I'm saying? He's not afraid. He's still swimming with him because he alone. You see, SIU, y'all don't care about the other people that's getting killed. Some of y'all do, but most of you individuals with them titles, y'all don't care. That's good that y'all put up a $5,000 scholarship fund for the female that lost her life. At $5,000 ain't going too far, but it's better than nothing. Some of y'all say, well, what did I put up? I put my voice up. My voice is being heard by them. Look at them. See, the strong can only rule over the weak, but the wise will rule them both. Y'all look very carefully now. Now, with the Praveen case, the Indian guy case, If y'all don't know about it, Google it up. Google up SIU student, Indian student Praveen from Morton Grove, Illinois, found dead in the woods, and look up the history. You see, they ain't gonna march about that because a white guy 4 years later was charged and convicted by a jury of murder, but the judge, when it was going time to sentence, the judge threw it out. That's unheard of. Guess who this white guy's lawyer was? One of the lawyers that was representing R. Kelly. You know, you got to have some money to have some people representing you like R. Kelly. You see, that remind me of the sheriff down here that was convicted and arrested down here in Mississippi County, I believe in 2017. And one of his lawyers, guess who he was? He was one of the lawyers that represent the rapper Nelly out of St. Louis. So when you got money and power like that, it don't matter what you do, you're going to get away with it. But let me show you something about this corner now. This corner ruled this Indian guy from Chicago, suburbs, Morton Grove. He ruled the same corner that put suicide on mine. He put this guy wandered in the woods and he did it to himself. It was an accidental death, something to that nature, but it wasn't no murder. But the police, the family asked for a special prosecutor. And they tried that white guy, but the white guy people had money, y'all. This same corner, you don't see nothing on none of the corners report with this corner, the head corner. Look here, he want to, some of them don't know what I'm saying, so they sent a representative. they sent a representative. But let me tell you something, y'all. This corner, his name ain't known nothing of my sons but the death certificate where he said that my son's death, he signed it on June the 23rd, 2021, that my son committed suicide. And his death was due to committing suicide, and contributing to that was abuse of methamphetamine. You see, at first he tried to say that this Indian guy went in the woods drunk, but they took a toxicology test, and guess what? It wasn't nothing in his system. You see what I'm saying? Wasn't nothing at all in his system. And my point is, y'all, they knew my son got high. So they want to use that as an excuse. See, my son was like this one here. You see them? He was alone because of the fact that he was on drugs, because of the fact that he was black, because of the fact that he was homeless, because of the fact he had been to prison. But you see, it didn't matter because they outnumber, they the majority and they white, and this one here is dark-skinned and by itself, but I fed them all. That's what Jesus would do. But you see, this corner did the same thing with my son. But you see, had I not been speaking up like that Praveen, the Indian family would have, this other guy wouldn't have never went to trial. But I spoke up on the 24th of March, and then on the 25th, it's been a death investigation ever since. So that go to show you the corner in the police department, they work hand in hand undercover, but why is it a death investigation when the corner from day one and the police from day one, when they seen my son's body, before they did any examination, before they even cut him down, they called the coroner's office and said, we have somebody that hung themselves. How you know they hung themselves unless you hung them up there? Which I believe the police do have something to do with it. Y'all just pay close attention. You see, let's not be like the Suzuki family, just worried about the Suzukis. You see what I'm saying? Let's be like Jesus and worry about that one that done wandered off. See, one day that might be your son or daughter. You see, it happened a lot. When me and my daughters was going through stuff down here with this racist Charleston R1 school district, with this racist Charleston, Missouri Police Department, with this racist 33rd Circuit Court here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, with this racist Sheriff Department, Mississippi County, with this racist City Hall in Mississippi County, with these sellout NAACP presidents and members, with these sellout blacks that got these groups as well as whites. But you know one thing what God did? God let me still stand, and some of them same people that was marching with these people, then they come to me about their problems. And you know what I told them? I'll pray for you. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, when I was sick, when I was hungry, when I was in need, where was y'all? You see what I'm saying? And I didn't say that because of that. I said it because I don't trust him, because that's what Satan do. Satan brings somebody that look just like you in the midst. You see what I'm saying? And he bring them in the midst for a reason, y'all. He bring them in the midst to try to tear you down, to try to find out what you're doing. But I'm letting y'all know everything I want you to know here on social media. Those of y'all that's not subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe to it. It's free. Raymond, R-A-Y-M-O-N-D, Ivy, I-B-Y. See, I speak up for the one. Ain't no need of me speaking to the 99, because they all right. But that brother came all the way from Marion, and he spoke up. Now, let me show you something else. The Indian guy was at a party on College Street in Carbondale, Illinois, and the white guy was giving him a lift. According to the special prosecutor, the white guy beat him up. The white guy originally, this is something they use all the time. And if you white and you're not a part of this here, don't let it bother you. But it happened a lot to us black. The white guy, when the state trooper stopped him about on the side of the road with his flashes on at nighttime by the woods, know he was drinking, seen he was drinking. And he told the state trooper a black guy just tried to rob him and ran into the woods. State trooper seen money all on his floor of his truck. State trooper seen a drink. The state trooper let him go. Right in that spot where he let him go, drive away, didn't do nothing. He been drinking. If there was a black person stopped at nighttime, the state trooper just got out and flashed his lights. But in them woods, was that Indian student from Chicago, Morton Grove, SIU student, that had been beaten by this same white guy, this beast. I hope his family listening to it, that beast. And they drove off. They found the guy's body in the woods, I believe, 4 days later. And to cover up, because his family got money, they said that this individual, one got drunk at the party and wandered in the woods. They caught this white guy in plenty of lies. But he walking around free to kill somebody else. I wonder, did he kill my son? I want some of y'all to look on the comment from the last YouTube I made. Look at the comment some racist white person made when I said they need to sue the family needs to sue the person whose house that was. And here's one of these Ku Klux Klan Nazis, cowards, said, no, they need to sue the SIU students that rented the house and had the party. Most likely they black. And said something to the fact, had I not been out here worrying about everybody else's business, maybe I could have saved my son from himself or from whoever finished him off. What that tell you? You see what I'm saying? What that tell you? It tell you the same thing that how that white police officer on Sunday, August the 22nd, 2021, when I went on the scene where that young sister from Chicago lost her life. And when I was asking her questions and asked her, did she know my son who was hung down here? And she shook her head. And I said, how's the investigation going? She did like this. And as I was talking to her, I wasn't even finished and she walked off. That go to show you, I don't give a doggone about that. You know what I'm talking about. It's like they didn't care about Praveen. Just like that coroner said it was an accidental murder or negligence on the Indian, but they found out it wasn't. Just like they said it wasn't no force defense wounds, but they seen blunt trauma. They said the same thing with my son. Wasn't no defense wounds. So before he hung himself, I guess he fractured his first and seventh and third and eighth rib. I guess he did all that. I guess he decided he was going to cut his hand to the tendons. Where's all the blood at? All of y'all that been supporting me spiritually and talking to me privately, contacting me, and letting me know y'all support me. I appreciate y'all. But ain't no Suzuki's down there supporting me. You know, because my son, like I said, he was black. He was homeless. He was on drugs. He been to the pen. And he wasn't no Suzuki. But that one preacher said it's more than one family than the Suzuki family. He said it a little bit more milder. I ain't gonna say it milder. Jesus didn't go into that temple when it was mild. When them merchants was in there selling stuff in the synagogue. He didn't go in there mild. He turned them tables over. But he got angry, but he didn't sin, y'all. I'm a gopher right now. And those of y'all don't like what I'm saying, yeah, and then make them comments like that old racist, white supremacist, coward, ignorant human being. You know, I love when y'all say that. I love when the NAACP don't get up behind them mics about a homeless person being hung in 2021 in Carbondale, one of the most racist places, just like here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. And all white folks ain't racist. I done worked for a guy that was running a farm. Him and his nephew, they was good to me. But when he left, they brought a guy from Mississippi, and he was one of the most racist one, but I stood on until I documented them using the N-word. I documented them spraying KKK on trash can, talking about that's for kerosene. The federal judge asked them to get them an invoice to show the kerosene was coming in them plastic drums. And if they did come up with it, the EPA was going to fine them because kerosene don't come in plastic drums. If anybody know what I'm talking about, I'm going to leave right now. They trying to cover up my son's death, y'all. But it's a mix-up down there. You know, over 150-something days, it's been a death investigation. But on day one, it was suicide, according to Sergeant Guy Draper, the Jackson County Ambulance Service, and the deputy coroner for Jackson County. But now, all of a sudden, when I open up my mouth, a closed mouth can't be fed. A silent voice ain't gonna never be heard, y'all. I don't know what y'all thinking, but I'm from the Windy City. I'm finna blow the covers off of y'all. I'm finna blow them sheets off your head. You got Black Ku Klux Klan down there too, y'all. Here come these same females before. You see what I'm saying? I think they might got a GPS on my thing. They come up a lot. They listen to me. And then when I speak and wave, they don't even speak back. But that's their prerogative. But one thing about it, they don't run a doggone thing down here. Don't nobody run this here. This is a free thing. I guess they don't think that I'm worthy of being around the geese or the ducks. But I'm going to leave for right now, y'all. I think I done said enough. Y'all keep me in your prayers. If y'all know that sister's family up in Chicago, Illinois, y'all let them know. Don't trust in them black folks down there that's getting behind them mics. Go and see if they was behind them mics or made any marches when the Indian guy passed away or got killed by the white guy. They ain't gonna protest against when the white folks do something. They ain't gonna protest against it. But a white folk, and if the shoe fit, wear it. You know what I mean? I'm just speaking real. White folks lined up 20 black folks and just shot them down and said I didn't like them because they did how they looked. Black folks them black leaders down there gonna turn their head. And so what's so sad about it, the two high-ranking NAACP members is from Chicago. Ain't that something, y'all? Ain't that something? One of them is a former school teacher and one of them is one of those former Cook County sheriffs. I wonder if they some of the ones when I was in the jail, when they called the 6-1, they come jumping on you, beating on you, because most of them be black. I'm going to leave it like that, y'all. Peace be still.